Is Lincoln Riley on the hot set in 2025? No, he probably is not when it's all said and done with that astronomical amount of money. But it is necessary for the Trojans to win one-score games in 2025 and for them to make improvements off of last year. The whole thing started off great. They were a game away from the college football playoff, the Pac-12 title game. But since then, it came down in 2023, and last year was horrible in those one-score games, except for, of course, week 1 against LSU. But this year, Ayava, under quarterback, under center, like he's got the opportunity to bring the Trojans back fully to relevancy, and so to say, bring USC fully back in appearance, potentially in the college football playoff. Why I think that could happen is because of their schedule. There are opportunities within that schedule for them to have a record that does look like 9-3, 10-2, what is necessary to be a college football playoff team when it's all said and done. The start of the year, they're going to be 4-0. Missouri State, Georgia Southern, at Purdue, Michigan State. Now, to get a backdrop on what next year is, it is going to be a team that will be better on the defensive side of the football. They're fine without Barrett Alexander going to the Oregon Ducks. Like, that's fine. He was gone all of last year. Keyshawn Silver, they bring in. Anthony Lucas, the senior transfer. They have a team built around Lynn on the defensive side of the ball that is ready to make an improvement, a jump. On offense, Triava is going to have, obviously, many chances to connect with Jacoby Lane, he could be the best receiver in college football that gets drafted, I say specifically, and next year. Huge production a year ago, of course, Mekhi Lemon, and then what will the run game look like with Eli Sanders, Wayman Jordan? That's a bit of what the roster figures out to be, but how do they perform? Missouri State, they win 42-13. They take care of business in the home opener. Georgia Southern, 52-6. Of course, sometimes you get these earlier matchups in the year, build a lot of confidence. At Purdue, week 3, don't see any trouble there, 43-10. Michigan State, they get them at home and beat them 31-14. That all sets up USC, I've got ranked as number 19. They do all 4. They will be ranked, and they will be somewhere in the teens. You can pretty much guarantee that as of right now. Don't think that they'll be ranked in the top 10, beating what you could call some gimmies. But if they were to beat the next team, sure, like they could get pretty close right at like that 10 spot, because I've got Illinois ranked number 11, and they play Illinois week 5 at Memorial Stadium there in Urbana-Champaign. Now, Illinois features Luke Altmaier. Like, he is what their offense will run through with his legs, throwing the football. Their defense is always going to be good under Brett Bielema. Like, they have a spectacular defensive core. Well, we were top 5 a couple of years ago. If you forget about that squad with Devin Witherspoon and Jazon Newton in the middle of it, Sidney Brown in the back end, just a ridiculous array of guys. They weren't top 5, they were top 10. So Illinois have USC coming up with a big win and coming out of that stretch before their bye week to be 5-0 on the season, 21-16, and in the pinnacle of national relevancy. Now, they beat Illinois because they can run the football. If they can't run the ball against Illinois, easier said than done for you to be able to do it. But 21-16, a bit lower scoring, don't turn the ball over, and they pull out a huge win, one of their biggest wins in recent years. The bye week comes, and then it's Michigan. Last year, they couldn't get a stop against Michigan when they needed one, couldn't bring a tackle down, 4th down, Michigan goes down the field. That was not a very good Michigan team. We know that even the Ohio State Buckeyes at home lost to Michigan. That's fine, USC lost to them on the road, but that very much set the tone for the year. There was the Penn State game, of course, but I have them losing to Michigan at home. As a Buckeye fan, I might want to get out to that one, support, hype up the USC crowd, get everybody going and raucous. I'll be rooting for the Trojans, most likely for sure, but have them losing 23-20 and dropping in the rankings, but still being in the teens somewhere. Then it's a big one. You have this rivalry that might be going away against Notre Dame, and that is horrible. That sucks for college football. That you could see Notre Dame, USC, it's been around for 100 years, and that this thing could go away when it is always premier entertainment. It's a game with history. It has tradition. The two of the more iconic logos and schools in the country with all that power that is there in South Bend, Indiana, and Notre Dame, and of course what USC is, this conglomerate. You could have a country be run through that campus and all the money coming in and out of there. So that is the main focus. Like, how does USC not do it? They have all the resources necessary to have a team that makes the college football playoff now consistently. Can they put it together? I have them losing at Notre Dame. A 5-0 start soon turns around the corner between bye weeks, because they got a bye after Notre Dame, to 5-2, losing 23-17. There won't be any shame losing to a Jadarian Price and Jeremiah Love offense, though, next year. That is the best backfield in America, just right over Katron Allen and Nicholas Singleton, also very darn good. You know it very well if you're a USC fan. But CJ Carr adds an element of the vertical passing attack that Penn State hasn't had. Maybe a little bit with Sam Hartman, but not all that much. Didn't have a great arm. The mobile athlete that could pick up first downs with his legs and find guys over the middle. But Malachi Fields, Jordan Faison, Jaden Greathouse, they have weapons there in Notre Dame to balance with the run game. And, of course, like, returning the best corner in college football, arguably, in Leonard Moore. And he's just a true sophomore. At that point, 5-2. Hitting the bye week, it doesn't get better. I've got them with a loss at Nebraska, 3 in a row. What looked like a USC team at 5-0, that all they have to do is go something like 4-3 to make the playoff potentially. Or maybe they go 6-2 to get into the playoff. Just split those games against Michigan and Notre Dame to do it. I don't think USC makes the playoffs next year. Do think that they get pretty close, though. At Nebraska, they lose to Dylan Raiola and company. It's on the road. That place is going to be jumping. They're welcoming the Trojans into Nebraska for the first time there. This is going to be a crazy environment, but I actually have them running the table the rest of the way. You might be like, what? They got a game at Outson, at Oregon. Like, what are you talking about? It's over. Hang with me. Northwestern comes to town. It's a game they're going to win. 29-10. There's a lot on the offensive side of the ball that needs to be figured out fast for Lincoln Riley. First of all, they got to learn how to run the football. Woody Marks there, they can do a great job of it. And, of course, we know all the way back to the 2000s, a running back, a run game is necessary for the USC Trojans. It's just a necessary. Like, if you don't have that, you're not a national title contender. When they were a national title contender in 2022 in Caleb's Heisman season, the run production was a bit there. A lot of it was through Caleb's legs. He had like 10, 11 touchdowns. You can see the Bears stuff. Iowa the next week, 27-13. Have them taking care of company. Iowa is obviously run through a lot of defense, running the football. That's what they were with Caleb Johnson. Cade McNamara provided a bunch of instability at the quarterback position. A big USC win at home. And then it's Oregon. You want this one. Oregon is a team that you want to beat. 2 years ago with Caleb just getting sacked a bunch of times and in that game getting away from you, it just felt like this is not the way. Like, USC's better than that. They can keep this game a whole lot closer. A 26-24 win. Why? I'm not that high on Dante Moore. USC fans know all about how UCLA was prepping it up. Oh my gosh, we got this 5-star kid, one of the best quarterbacks in the country, Dante Moore. We're so stoked about him. We're not that impressed by when Dante Moore is on the field for UCLA. Comes over to Oregon, sits a year behind Dylan Gabriel, and there's no Evan Stewart next year. Also, I got to say this. I don't think Evan Stewart's playing. I'm recording this a couple of weeks before you are watching that. Need you to know that because if I'm saying something that is like, wait, the news already came out. What are you talking about? It's because when you're watching this, I'm in Africa. I came out with this content a couple of weeks before you're watching it. Had 50 videos to make and edit and all of that. Needed like a month to be able to come out with all of that before I go to Africa. And so that explains why, if there's anything I've mentioned, players I've talked about that won't be on the field next year, like I'm expecting Evan Stewart to not be, that's why. Because I wanted to keep power to the channel and Blitz with Blender and getting it going before the start of the season. A win against Oregon puts them at 8-3 on the season. A bit of a turnaround from when they were just 5-3 a couple weeks back, but you could see it. Them beating Oregon. They've got DeCorian Moore, of course, that they're going to be force-feeding the ball to. The freshman, he's talented. Mateo Uyunglele coming off the edge for Oregon's great, but you lose Jordan Birch, a third-rounder to Arizona. You lose Derek Harmon, who went first round to the back there, like Jordan James isn't there. They still have Noah Whittington. Of course, they've got Mekhi Hughes, the kid from Tulane, a lot of production, but do see them beating Oregon. Then it's UCLA at home. Nico Iamaleava in the UCLA Bruins now for USC. Got to win 31-20. USC gets to 9-3. Is it enough to make the college football playoff? Don't think it is. That win at Oregon helps you, but the losses to Michigan, to Notre Dame, and to Nebraska specifically to Nebraska ends up being the straw that broke the camel's back, so to say, in that sense. But 9-3. Every USC fan would take that. You just want to know that you've got a coach in Riley that can lead these boys, get him out there, winning games, winning them close. That's all you want to see. Like, if you heard you beat Oregon on the road at Allison, you'd probably take it right now, no matter what the schedule is. And that's what I have here. So let me know in the comments what you think of this, whether you're excited, whether you're getting a little bit depressed of thinking about USC football. I really don't think so. Like, this team looks like they can be pretty good next year and then build off of that momentum and have a great year where they've already got like a top 4 recruiting class for the 2026 class going into that season. Like, it's looking up for USC fans, hanging in there and trying to support the team, because sure, the crowd does need it. It needs a little bit of juice in that stadium. So please subscribe for more content going forward. So fired up for the start of college football. It's going to be incredible, exciting. USC is going to be in a whole bunch of tight, competitive football games next year, and we're ready for it. So please subscribe for more in the future. Get ready for more coming out very soon, and I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching.
Best player in college football.
That Georgia and Ohio State game, New Year's Eve, is going to be a classic.
Josh Blunder. Hi, everybody. I'm Josh Blunder.
To the 40, 35, 30, Espinoza to the 20.